Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Welcome to the 2018 General Assembly. As I'm sure you all know, we have a lot of things to talk about and a lot of fun stuff has happened over the last year. So we're going to get it fired up right away with a quick overview of who we all are. Tom Hutchins is our Mandalore. Rob is still the Allure. David is our Brigadier. Rich is the Public Relations Officer. Sal's our CAO. Tony, unavailable today, is our Perso. Sean is our Tech Officer. Corey is the Quartermaster. Regina is the Conclave Minister, and I am acting as the Archivist. We're going to fire off this meeting with some words from the Mandalore. Tom? Tom Hutchins. Wow.
Oh, there we go. Sorry about
that.
There
we go.
Greetings, everybody. It's great to be here again for another year. It's been a huge year for Mandalorian Mercs, and I'm going to go over a few things here that we've accomplished over the last year, and we've got a whole lot of really new programs coming out, and just a lot of people's hard work coming to fruition here. So I guess we can move the slide forward here.
Your next slide is about the Galactic Senate report.
Yes. Okay. So just to kind of recap what Galactic Senate is, I'm not sure how many people know exactly what it is. I know it's been mentioned a bit over the last few months. The Galactic Senate is a culmination of the 6 major Star Wars costume organizations, the 501st, the Rebel Legion, Mercs, Droid Builders, Dark Empire, and Saber Guild. And what the Galactic Senate is, it's an organization that really helps to support the community as a whole. All of the organizations belong to it, the major organizations, and each of us have a conference call every month. And what that does is it allows us to communicate as top level leaders in the organization to focus on issues facing the organizations, any kind of combined large scale events that we want to do, and it's just a really great way of all of us communicating. It's something that we've been trying to put together now for around 5 years, and we've finally gotten to the point where we all, as the leaders, feel comfortable with it. We have a charter that we have written up that we're doing just some finalizing to, that we'll all be signing as representatives of our organization, and we're hoping that it will also have some spots for members of the organizations to get involved in this large undertaking. So it's basically, you can think about it as the United Nations of Star Wars costume organizations. So that's one of the big things that I've been working on, trying to get that hammered out, and you're going to hear more about that probably in the coming weeks and months. So we can move on to the next slide.
Did you have anything else to cover?
The only other things that I had to cover would be our education. We have an education team that we have created under our programming committee. The education team has basically been tasked at creating an educational curriculum for the members and for our clan officers. We're going to be creating educational material that the clan officers can use to better inform themselves, and so that Mercs can actually centralize the policies and procedures and get those in a more timely format, and be able to make that into material to teach the officers, so that there's less conflicting information out there, and that there's less chance of officers maybe making mistakes inadvertently, things of that nature. We want to make sure that all of our regional and clan officers have the best materials possible. And also, on top of that, we're going to be putting out educational material for the members. People who haven't become official members necessarily yet, We're going to be creating new tutorials. We're going to be creating how-tos. What we're calling it is the Royal War College of Mandalore. And it is basically going to be like an online college for members to be able to come and learn about how to build their Mandalorian costumes and make them better. We're going to have a section there for official members so that they can see all the different things that all the knowledge that they need to know as official members will be there. Maybe some light PR training and very media, how to handle yourselves in front of media, things of that nature. We're going to have all kinds of different levels of training in there. The training team will be intersecting with all of the different officers, the council departments in Mercs to come up with a really good curriculum that everybody will be able to take advantage of. So we're really excited about that, and that'll be incoming here probably in the next few weeks. So that's really all that I've got at this point.
All right. Thanks, Tom. We'll probably have some more questions for you later on.
Sure.
Next, we were going to have some words from Rob, but unfortunately, he's doing some family things today, wasn't able to make it. Thankfully, his report is rather simple. Judicial issues are being taken care of efficiently and quickly. Some new systems have been implemented between JO and Tech, making the things really easy and lively. But other than that, if you're not involved in it, good job. Keep getting not in trouble. David, our brigadier, is up next. He's going to say some words about the brigades. David?
All right. Good afternoon. Thank you. My name is David Perry. I go by the name Vraeden, Vraeden, on the forums and on Facebook. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me. This past year, since May the 4th of last year, has been a big year for brigades. As of right now, we have 269 brigades approved kits. Of those, 210 are currently active, which means we have 59 members who are either in an inactive or retired status. And also, since May the 4th of last year, we've approved 53 new brigades kits, which means about a fifth of our total membership has come on in the last year. And I think that is reflective of not only growth within the brigades, but growth of the club. I think with the personnel office and others, I think we've seen our club just grow tremendously in the last year or a couple years. So I'm very happy to see that folks are joining the club and showing an interest in brigades. And we love to have all our new members. We've also got several members who have multiple brigades approved kits. I'll talk a little bit about some of that in a second here. As far as our current staff, with apologies to the other council members, I feel like I have the best team in the whole club. Mavic is the brigade team XO, and I've got 4 brigade marshals. Kree Takur, Kabine Kavarik, Dex Targ, and Ashen Kelborn are acting as brigade marshal for the time being. We've also got a couple new positions in there, and we have Sakara Charev, Zedran Hodag, and Mix are the division captains. And so what I would just like to say is that those folks are the reason why brigades has been successful in the last year, and it's through their involvement that a lot of the things that we've implemented have come to fruition, and they've just done a great job on our team, and I just need to thank them publicly because I know I don't do it enough. Some of the other things that we've got going on this year, first was I mentioned we expanded our personnel with the creation of the division captain position. This is a position that I've kind of been kicking around for a while, and we implemented it last year. The division captains are assistants to the brigade marshals. They report directly to the brigade marshal and indirectly to me. Their job is to assist the new members in coming along and guiding folks on the forums and through their work in progress threads. And like I said, our team has just done a great job with that. We've also, our other big project for this past year was our divisional realignment. When I took over as brigadier, we had 3 divisions. We had the offensive division, the support division, and the canon and legends division. What we did was we dissolved the offensive and support divisions and broke those up or recombinated them into the Vanguard, Striker, and Field Operations division. part of that was workload management, and part of that was also we wanted to group the different professions and brigades together in like tasks, because that's what brigades are. We're task-based armor configurations. We have our rapid assault, and we have privateers, and we have medics, and we have force hunters, and all those. So we rebuilt, we restructured the divisions in a way. We brought some more folks on, and like I said, part of it was for workload, but we've got a lot of eyeballs on applications, which kind of leads me to our next, the next thing I want to talk about. Ken, if you can go back one slide for that. And that is the cross-division dual brigade policy changes and our application workflow. Okay, well, with the application workflow, one of the biggest complaints that I'd heard from members was that, you'd send in your application and it would just sit around, and they were sitting around for a while, and that was my fault. So what we did was we overhauled our workflow for the application process, the brigade's application process. And so when somebody applies to brigades now, you should get a message from either me or the brigade marshal saying thank you for your application. And what that does for us is it starts the clock. And then within 2 weeks of you getting that message, you should get some sort of response from us. The best case, and the one that I look forward to sending out the most, is the welcome to the brigades message. Sometimes though, we have applications that might need a little work. We might need some clarification. So we might ask for other pictures, or we might ask for, we might send a short fix list or something like that, but you should get something within 2 weeks. And so that's our new application. And so we just wanted to speed up the process. Now, once we send that fix list, then it's on the shoulders of the applicant to turn that around. But with our staff expansion, and like I said, just with the dedication of the brigade team, our first time pass rate is just way up. And that's because we have folks who are on the forums and monitoring whip threads, and who are answering questions and doing all of that. And I think that it's just really helped out the membership, both prospective members and existing brigade members. The other thing, again, at the next bullet point there, the cross-division dual brigade policy, that was something that was on the table and had been backburnered when I became brigadier back in 2016, and we rolled that out this year. So basically what that means is if you are a member of, say, the Vanguard Division, and you wanted to dual brigade into something, one of the others, so if you were, say, in the 267th Rapid Assault as an urban assault specialist, and you wanted to add heavy weapons to that, or add a privateer, now you can do that. There are some guidelines, and all of this is on the forums. But the cross-division dual brigade policy is something we rolled out at the beginning of this calendar year. And we've seen a bunch of applications come in, and I'm just really excited to see what people are up to. A couple other things that we've rolled out this year are two new professions. We have the droid hunter and the aerial assault professions. And I know we have one droid hunter who's already gone through the brigade application process. I haven't seen an aerial assault yet, but I know folks are working. So I am really looking forward to seeing those come up. All right. Let's see. Oh, can we go back one more, Ken? I hate to make you do this. Okay. So the third bullet point there is the brigade reviews. These are ongoing projects that we have. We just need to make sure that our brigade membership is staying compliant. You should be contacted by your brigade marshal or your division captain as far as that goes. And then the other big thing we've got coming into this year is some merchandise opportunities and some merchandise items. I'm not going to announce any specifics on that yet because I'm still working those out with the quartermaster and with some other folks. But we do have some merchandise things coming through the pipe with the supply team. So we do have those to look forward to. I think that's all I have for right now. Again, if you need anything from me, please contact me through the forums or on Facebook. Like I said, my name is there, VRAEDEN. Please send me a message either through PM or just post a thread on the forums. Thank you.
Thanks, David. Now the guy who doesn't like to talk much, Rich Whitaker, Saz. You want to talk about public relations and marketing?
Oh, I do. Thank you very much. Hi there, folks. Nice to see you here. Just want to talk about a few things on the marketing side and the PR side. First things first, we've had a few changes, as some of you may know. Mostly it's become something amongst the Verilors, and if they've passed the information on to you, then great. If not, now is the time for me to explain to you what's been going on recently. As some people may know, both Tom and I went to San Francisco to meet Disney and Lucasfilm last year, and we had a very productive meeting with them to find out how we can work ourselves better to work with each other and so forth. The major point of that was that Lucasfilm have made it very clear that they want us to have a permanent role, or someone who has a permanent role within communications with Lucasfilm. The council was made aware of this, and they voted that it's going to be me, because I talk a lot. So that's a nice thing. But effectively, I am now the primary communicator to Lucasfilm. So what will happen is that any sort of thing that comes from Lucasfilm, they should also be sending a message to me as well at the same time. So I should be knowing about all the invites that you get as well as that. The secondary is obviously Tom. But from now on is that most of the information that you'll get from Lucasfilm, if it doesn't come from me, then it hasn't come from Lucasfilm. That's how you should. That's basically how you should consider things from now on. Now, because of that, we've had to make a few changes, and both Corey and I have decided that we will work together, and that we're going to pool resources and create a marketing team. So effectively, the merchandise, branding, PR, social media, they're all now under the same roof, so that we can all start using the resources of each group, rather than having separate stuff and having our separate team members and working, sometimes, the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. Now we've got a marketing team that always communicates with each other, so we all know what's going on. I'd also like to take the time to thank Misha Nell, also known as Misha Kitty. She stepped down as the marketing XO. She was the PR XO. She did a fantastic job while she was there, and now it's been taken over by Ashley, who is oh damn, I've forgotten her blinking name now. That's brilliant to me, isn't it? Murdala, that's the one. Yes, thank you guys. And she's taken over the day-to-day running of both the PR and the marketing team. So she's now classed as the marketing XO. She is the primary contact for any issues. I know I still answer my PMs, and I know that Corey still answers hers. But there have been several times where we've set up forms to allow teams to work, because my job, and I know that Corey's job as well, they've kind of moved away from the front end, and we're kind of working behind the scenes now and allowing members of the club to move forward. Which brings me on to my next point. Karen? Art team. Now, we've had a few issues with the art team, generally being that we don't have enough art team members right now. We are still looking for members, and if you feel that you're good enough and some decent programs that will allow you to do graphic design, and if you're willing to learn from the team and listen to the experience of members, please pop forward a CV and a portfolio. We are not really that fussed about your experience, but we do need you to have experience with things like Photoshop, CorelDRAW, to be able to use the programs so that you can get the items out quickly. Vector artists are something that we're really desperately in need of, and any sort of art team help, joining our art team, it's a very good step forward for most people, because it's a rather involved subject, and you'll be able to conversate with a lot of people during that time. But yeah, the other point is that there are going to be delays because we have art team issues. We have a lot of projects that are going forth, with MercsCon coming forward as well. The merchandising team is also pushing forward and pushing strong as well towards items that need doing. So the art team are very heavily under load. So please make sure that you are able to work with the art team and understand that there may be a couple of delays. The other thing is as well is that the other thing I'd like you all to take into consideration is that the art team are there to do a job and they're there to help you. We've had quite a few issues recently where people have been arguing with the art team and making their opinion that their opinion is better than the art team's. The way that the club is set up is that the art team are given authorization to act on behalf of the club. Therefore, they are the ultimate word when it comes to that. So if everybody can kind of just skew their opinions back to the point where the art team are the final say of the club, then that would be great. I don't want to have to spend my time having to get involved in disputes with members. I'd rather have everything be nice and smooth and everybody work together. When I have to get involved, then decisions have to be made from an official point of view, and that's not fun for anybody. On to the next subject, the card game, which is another thing. It is coming. It is coming. We've just got to do some final things. And because the card game is coming, we are starting to work on the new personal cards for the next season. The card game we're hoping to be pre-sold and then given out at MMCC. So the first time that you'll ever be able to touch that card game will be at MMCC. So all the people who are actually going to MMCC will be the first people to grab their card games. Anybody else who won't be going to MMCC will have to pay a extra set for having it posted out to them at the after MMCC has finished, because obviously we're going to be quite busy with all doing that stuff. So the important thing is, if you really want this card game, pop to MMCC and you'll get your copy sorted when it gets pre-ordered. It is getting up to pre-order soon. I am getting through to the point where we have the final cards made. As I said, we've got art team issues, so we're having to work through all those problems. And once both Tom, Corey, and I have signed off on the final demo set, then we will have it ready for production. I have already authorized the card game stencils to be done for members, and that hopefully will be done by the end of the month. I'm probably putting a bit of pressure on Ashley there, but I want to make sure that we've got these art cards done so that people can actually start making their own things. The difference is, though, is that with these cards, we will not be allowing them to go to members to print for themselves. They have to be the same size as the card game, so we'll be going for the same people who will make the cards. But the nice thing is we'll make sure that there's a clan on there, and what we'll also be selling is clan blister packs. So the more you can get your clan involved in there, the better the clan blister pack will be. So we will sell one of each member of the clan as a pack that people can buy out to swap into their card game. If you've not really known too much about the card game, have a listen to some of the KTR radio, some of the past sections where I've been on and talked about the game. And there's a few different discussions there and thereabouts. But if not, what we can do, if necessary, I will pop down some details for people to understand. And that is about it. Apart from the fact, obviously, with MMCC coming up, the exchange rate, yes. Thanks for that. For those in Europe, in Britain, and want to go to MMCC, apparently it's a very favourable exchange rate at the moment against the pound and the euro against the dollar, which isn't so great for you Americans, but for anybody umming and ahhing about going to MMCC, have a look at the exchange rate, see how much that's going to cost you, because it could be a lot cheaper than you think it is. I'll leave MMCC to the discussion that will be on a bit later, but that's about me done. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you, Rich. Sal, we've got some elections that just happened. Do you want to give us some words on that?
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Ken, and welcome everybody. We got quite a few things that I'd like to just quickly jump in and talk about here today. We're going to start off here with these clan elections and the reviews and what we really want to share with you regarding those. So with the elections, everybody, almost all of the clans went through some clan reviews this past January. We had almost half of the clans that actually held elections, so it was really a nice turnout from everybody. Just to summarize the elections and some of the things that I saw. We saw that the percentage of OMs who participated in the clan review process actually fell from the previous year by a little bit. Those are the kinds of things that we really just want to stay on top of. We want to make sure everybody understands these elections are your chance to let your voice be heard. As general membership and as members of your various clans, you have a say in everything that went on in the elections. You can place your vote. You can nominate yourself for an AILRAD position. You're in control here. You should really be vocal, be involved, get involved in these elections. The percentage did increase of clans whom requested elections. That's really great. Um, even though, when we make an offer to clans, um, if we only have one person that nominates themselves, there's really no need to have an election. That's just the only person. So we actually had an increase in the clans that held an election, meaning more than one person was nominated. So that was really great. I love to see that. Um, and then based on percentage, half of the clans who asked for elections had only one nominee, or I'm sorry, and had only one nominee. That nominee was the incumbent AILRAD. So again, what that tells me is, clans are asking for elections, but we're not seeing a huge step up of people who want to take on those roles of leadership. Again, I'm just going to summarize. The clans are your responsibility. You get out of this club what you put into it. So really step up, take a stand, be heard. These elections are your opportunity to shine and to really get the changes that you want to see happen. Okay, now just to give you an idea of the numbers, in the clans who held an actual election, we had a 76.89% turnout. That was a 25% increase over 2017. So you see, this is exactly what we like to see. We like to see the membership taking a role. So for those clans that actually did get the chance to have an election where you had more than one nominee, you guys really came out. You really let your voices be heard. So for those clans that only had one nominee this year, consider that. If you want to get your voice heard, let's make sure we actually hold some elections out there. All right, Ken, if you have a next slide for me. Zero troop notices. Now, this is something that pops up every year, and it's regarding retirements. Just so everybody in the club knows, really, the only main requirement we have to maintain your official member status is to attend one invasion or troop every calendar year. That's really it. You maintain your kit to meet CRLs and you troop once a year. This past year in 2017, there were 3 separate notices sent out and posted on every clan's page, a forum page. It happened in July. It happened in November. It happened at the end of December. And we also just, went ahead and gave the last warning in February about people being retired. We really need the membership to watch those troop notices. I do that for your benefit. It should never be a surprise that somebody has not trooped during the year. There are ways to avoid being retired for zero troops, zero invasions. Last year, we enacted a requirement for every clan to have a report your troops here thread on their forum pages. So if you do an invasion that your clan officers are not aware of, you go to that thread and you post it up there. The clan officers are required to go to that thread at least once a week and look at it. This way they can post any of those invasions in an actual event report. So you really are in control of whether you're zero or whether your troops are being recorded or not. Zero troops are completely avoidable, and we've given you every tool that we can think of to try to make it as easy as possible for you to report those. All righty, Ken, next slide if there is one. Oh, nope, that's not me. All right, I did have a couple of other things that I did want to just summarize on. I wanted to share some of the actual metrics and some of the statistics that we've compiled. Here in the CAO team, Clan Administration Office team, we are the ones that are recording all of the invasions, all of the data from every single event report that you guys submit. One of the big things that we really started to buckle down in and start tracking is charity information. Now, just to give you guys an idea here, last year for 2017, the Mandalorian Mercs helped to raise over $470,000 for the year. Now, those dollars are not individual dollars that were that the Mercs actually handled. That's the total dollars from every charity event in which we took part in, whether we had a bucket out on the table or we assisted with the 501st in raising money. That all of that money is in regards to the dollars that came in for that charity event. Some of the big charities that we worked with: Make-A-Wish Foundation, obviously LWI. We helped raise money for the Ronald McDonald House, as well as a lot of different schools, libraries, and miscellaneous charities around the world. That's some wonderful information and some wonderful work that we get to share with Lucasfilms and anybody else to try to help build the Mercs organization. All of those dollars came from our members donating over 4,000 hours of their own time to these various charities. Another outstanding statistic. You guys, you're really showing the world where the Mercs have their heart. I really just want to tell you guys that this is one of the things I'm most proud of with the Mercs is all of the charity information that you guys do. So thank you all very much for that. Now, some clan information. Over the 2017 year, we had 4 new clans come on board here. That brought us up to a total of 61 clans at the end of 2017. 2 of those clans did split as other clans grew, so they were an offshoot from a couple of other clans. We also had 2 clans that grew from stronghold areas. That is an amazing feat. We've had these strongholds now for a couple of years, and to watch those strongholds grow, get new members, and actually become full-fledged clans is just a remarkable thing. I'm always excited to see that. On a side note, at the start of 2018, I do want to make sure that everybody's aware of this. So, maybe some of you have heard the rumors. The Florida clan, they did split up. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. BVC was their initials. They did split up into what the Mercs is now testing as a house structure. The house structure is designed to be more of a family unit and to stay inside the realms of the Star Wars universe. We are taking the BVC clan and we split it up into 5 smaller clans, each one of them underneath the house. Here comes my bad pronunciation, but inside of the House Buranar Verda name. Each clan is in its own separate independent unit. They are each an individual clan with an individual clan command structure. The house structure has no command staff to it. It's simply designed to allow these clans to still maintain a family type environment and atmosphere with each other, clans that are closely related and clans that do attend a lot of the same troops together. They can still have that close-knit family bind there. All right, so those are the new clans that we had this year, or in 2017. We also had quite a few admin changes that came about here at the start of 2018. Some of those changes were we started to recognize that members can now be credited for multiple day events. I want to thank you guys very much. I know it's a lot of work. We did put that out to you, the clan officers, to see how you felt about it. We let you make the decision. We gave you an election, or not an election, but a poll, and you could vote for which option you wanted. You guys all thought it was in the best interest to let your members get all the credit they deserve. And you've been doing a great job with that. I want to thank you all for reporting those separate days. It's really been quite a challenge for my team as more and more reports come through, but it's really nice to see people get the full credit they deserve. I do want to remind everybody, when you are filling out your event reports, we only need you to give us hours if it was a charity event. And there's been a lot of question about what is a charity event. Basically, a charity event is when you are helping to raise money or awareness for any type of nonprofit or obvious charity like the Red Cross. Things like public schools, public libraries, those all pretty much do depend on donations. So those are also considered charities. So if you happen to work or go to an event where you're raising money or awareness for any of those facilities, please feel free to put in the hours. If you go to a convention, if you have a bucket on the table, or if you're taking part in a shoot a trooper, that's charity hours as well. If you do not have a bucket, if you're not collecting money for a charity, if you're not taking part in a shoot a trooper for charity, then the convention hours do not count. I hope that clears up some of the questions we've been getting about that. We've also changed the way we're recording the money this year. We're separating out our charity money based on direct and indirect dollars. To answer that question, because I have received that question quite a bit as well, direct dollars are any monies that you handle on your own. The mercs, the clan is collecting that money, then that's direct dollars. Indirect dollars is the money you've helped to raise. So if you get a total from the event, that's the indirect dollars. And then finally, I do want to make sure to touch on this educational and family event policy that we've put forth. You guys have really taken to that like ducks to water. Just in the last 3 months, we've had 9 family events recorded, and get this, 50 educational events. So that's phenomenal. I really am pleased to see that. Um, we do want the clans to make sure to get credit for everything they do. And we really want to make sure that you guys know, just because it's not an invasion, it doesn't mean that it doesn't matter. And you guys are just coming through like stars on reporting that to us. So thank you all very much.
Sal, that's really good to hear with the numbers on the family and educational events. Just to touch on also the finances thing there with the donations, indirect and direct dollars. Those dollars do mean a lot, and the archivist office does take that data and apply that toward our financial statements for the IRS and the clans and the club. So that number, those numbers are very important, which I'll touch on again in a few minutes when we get around to the archivist side. Just so that anybody's curious, at the top it's got a link for Google Slides, so you can go on there, take a look at our slides, and post any questions you have. We can answer them through the presentation here. At the end of the GA, we will have a thread up. It's in the official members area. We'll have one posted also in the public forum. So if anybody has questions or issues, you can, if you weren't able to catch this live, which are massive 10 viewers, I'm guessing we may have a few others. So anyway, post those up. We'll get those answered. Since Tony's not available right now, Tom's going to jump in once more and speak to a couple of items. Tom? Can't find that mute button again, huh? There you go, Tom. How about now?
There we are. Just wanted to touch on one quick thing that came up in the clan officer roundtable discussion. We've been discussing it in council, and that just concerns Rusalor privileges when it comes to just what they do as their job. And just wanted to touch on that real quick and say that the council is discussing. It's just totally in discussion. We're not planning on removing any of the Rusalor's abilities, just better defining it. I know that was a concern to several clan officers when the discussion came up, but we're not looking at diminishing anybody's job. We're just looking at better defining it so that the job's executed in the proper manner, and that all the tools are on the table for the Rusalors to do their jobs appropriately. So that's really all I have to say there when it comes to the personnel officer and the apps team. So.
Well, that makes it simple.
Try to keep it simple.
Yeah. I know the tech officer, Sean, the Musalor has a whole bunch of things to talk about, and I know he's been so excited to share this. Sean, you ready to give us some go?
I am ready, yeah.
Have fun.
All right. So bounty hunt systems up first. We talked a little bit about that last year at the General Assembly. We had some kind of aggressive goals to try and meet, I guess. So as some people have probably been wondering where it's at, we have not gotten that completed just yet, but we definitely have been making progress. We've encountered some, without getting too much into the technical side, as you develop something, you encounter sometimes you develop different problems or hurdles to work through, or additional ideas come up that kind of change the way that the system needs to be built. So we've kind of revamped the system from the initial setup. We're definitely making good progress now, though. Ken, if you want to go ahead and forward the slide. There we go. This is a little preview of the interface as we currently have it. This may or may not be quite what it looks like in the end. But what you see is basically what you're going to get in the general scheme of it. So we got a little logo there. A lot of people liked the April Fool's stuff. If you guys missed it, that's what the logo looked like, more or less, minus the part that says Bounty Hunt. People seem to really like the theme, and it definitely fits in universe for a Bounty Hunt terminal that we would have at a con booth. So that chime is not part of the system. Don't know what that was. But as you can see, we've got open bounties, new request, acquisitions, and administration for the current menu items. The screen you see here is the open bounties screen. It's the default screen. So the person running the actual system will be able to use this to see what's currently pending. The photos that look like they're kind of a portion of someone's room is in fact taken from a webcam. So one of the nice things that we've been able to get implemented is that the bounty hunt system will let you take a photo of someone's phone where they can have a photo of the target that you're looking for, which will make finding a bounty a whole lot easier. New request is going to have a couple options in there, general description of who they are, where they're located, that kind of stuff. The duration that you're throwing them in jail for. Acquisitions is going to be when people have been brought back and captured. We're going to have a system to process those who we don't catch initially, so they can get thrown back in the queue, or they can go get looked for again later. Tom, you got peacocks going on in the background, by the way. And then the administration will contain all the settings for that bounty hunt system. So don't have an exact ETA on it yet, but yeah. Next up, Merc Clan sites. We have a new format for those. The renewal period has been moved just to give people a little bit of extra time, and also to move away the workload of handling those every year on the renewal period, moving that away from everything else that falls towards the start of the year. So that'll be May 15th now. There's a post about that. If you want to see what the new design looks like, you can go to veshok.mandalorianmercs.org, and that's that. There will be more info about that posted up on the forums. Next slide. All right, so as some of you may have noticed, we have a collectible system that got implemented a little while ago on the site. If you're trying to find that and you're on the forums, All you have to do is view the top nav bar, and second from the right is collectibles. We have a coin collection option and a patch collection option. Currently, we'll be expanding that out as various different merchandise gets made as well. So the collections pages have been updated, or will be updated very shortly, rather. So if you're logged into the forums, you are presented now with options to track if the item is collected, wanted, or remove it to indicate that you no longer own it. We're going to be expanding, for other merch stuff, such as clothing or the items produced by the Laser, for example. So there's a personal collections area, which will document all the collected items that you have. So we have sections that are collected. So you have one. You have duplicates for trading or wanted. So for those in the wanted section, it will automatically display a list of other forum users who have it listed in their trading section. So now we have a system where you're going to be able to easily find people to trade patches and coins and whatnot with. So that is going to be a page that is definitely best viewed on the desktop. However, we've tried to make it mobile friendly, but with the amount of info we have to serve in those sorts of things, it is better viewed on desktop. We hope you guys enjoy that, though. We think it's definitely going to be an improved system for you guys to experience. Next up, we have the ticket system. Tech is going to be launching that. It's going to be part of a larger project to improve the usability of the forums. We're going to have a proper help system implemented. So there's going to be a help menu. We'll have an FAQ that'll be generated from the ticket system. And no longer will it be, here's a thread about this particular topic, send questions here, or email comms, or PM me, or PM Jang, or PM one of the other tech members. The ticket system will take all of the questions and comments and whatnot, and we have an actual support ticket system, like other companies will have, where we can assign tickets to particular people, and we'll be able to monitor the progress of that and get responses back to you guys a lot quicker. And from that, we can also generate things like the FAQ, so that way questions that come up frequently we can actually have answered already, ready to go. And so hopefully that'll make things a lot easier for people having trouble with the forums. Next. All right, gallery system. This is the big one. We have reset supporter tags. We do that annually. We've pushed that back a little bit, as we've done in the last couple of years, just to move it away from the beginning of the year, as that's always busy. Gallery system. So people on staff teams may be aware of this. We have a staff team menu. You have an image uploader. You have an image gallery. And so the staff members have been able to use that for a little while now. We are going to be expanding this out, so that way people that are donators to the site, as this is going to add a significant amount of data to the server. We're going to need some funds coming in to support this, but we want to make things better. We've heard you guys. Third-party sites are kind of annoying to use for hosting images. It can be a bit of a hassle. It can be a lot of a hassle if you go the way of, say, a certain company that wants, an annual fee now, and all the images got broken. We shan't name names. So this is going to create a personal storage area for members, where the server is going to deal with this based on your unique forum ID. So images uploaded will automatically be processed down to 1280 by 800 resolution to fit the forum size correctly. It will only allow JPEGs and PNGs. There'll be a guide on this, of course, as well. But the interface is all set up, ready to go. We also have it where it will create thumbnail-sized versions of the images as well. Some details that we haven't quite worked out yet is some criteria on the number of images that you might be able to upload per day or per week or whatnot. But we just need to make sure that we're not going to overstress the web server. But that is definitely coming. So for those that needed an easier way to post images, and one that's not going to be reliant on a third party, we've got that coming up very, very, very soon.
Thanks, Sean. Corey's up next with the quartermaster details, running us through some super exciting projects and things that happened last year and coming up this year. Corey?
Okay. Last year, I don't even remember what I did last year. We've been increasing merch over the last 5 years. When I came in, I was frustrated that there wasn't anything in the store every time I went in to look, so I started adding things. And now at this point, I've kind of lost track of when I've released things. It's 2018, so there will be a new official member patch, and instead of just putting 2018 on it, we'll do a 2018, 2019, since we've been releasing them on odd years. We still have some patches left over from Celebration that I happen to acquire in various ways, so those are in the forum or in the store, as are the ones that we use to fundraise for Celebration Europe and Celebration Orlando. Moving forward for this year, we completely sold out on the Puerto Rico patches, so thank you to everyone, because all that money went down to help our brothers and sisters down there in Puerto Rico. Those patches are going out probably tomorrow. I have not yet received the fundraiser patches, so please stop asking me where they are. I can't give them to you until I get them myself. But once I do, they'll go out too. We will be launching a new t-shirt design within the next week. It's going to be on a men's cut, a ladies cut, and a unisex tank. And we'll be offering 5 colors.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. 5 colors for each, 5 colors for each style. So there will be plenty of t-shirt options. And then we will be ramping up our activity pretty much for the rest of the year, because we're going to help raise some funds for MercsCon. We're going to do some MercsCon pre-orders. We're going to start raising funds for Celebration, because even though we don't know where it is yet, we know it's going to happen, so we need to be prepared. So be on the lookout for things that are going to come out for that. We're looking at, we've had all sorts of suggestions, which we really appreciate it when people post in the future merchandise request thread, because it gives us an idea of what you all want. That's where the t-shirts came from. We'll probably look at the flags that people have been asking for. Somebody asked about decals, and those are already on sale, and they're in the trading station, because we're doing those in-house, and Sal, our CAO, is cutting those for us and sending them directly to you, so they're made to order. We will be looking into, I think we're talking about beach towels and socks and umbrellas and all sorts of new and crazy stuff, so that you can show off your Mercs pride pretty much on everything except underwear. I'm going to draw the line there. We also, as a club, purchased a laser to use for laser engraving. It's being operated by our tech officer, Sean. So it's at his house in Canada, and we can, if it can be cut by the laser, then we can do it. We're
like membership badges?
Yes, like membership badges. We're almost done with those, and we'll be launching them soon. Correct, Sean?
I'm just waiting on the art.
Okay. Yes. So those will be launched soon. We actually had a mock-up cut, and we need to make a few adjustments, but those will be out soon, I promise. We're also looking at, we've got some ideas for lamps and maybe some wooden nickels or something like that. I don't know. If you've got ideas, you want to see something that's cut on the laser, then tell us. We are more than happy to take ideas, and if we can figure it out art-wise and material-wise, then we'll do it. I think that's pretty much everything merch-wise. Yes, I know we're behind on shipping right now. I'm getting ready to go on vacation, so I'm getting all that stuff out of here in the next few days so that I don't have to worry about it while I'm gone. So look for shipping notifications to be showing up in the next day or two. If you have questions, please use the supply Q&A form. There's a link in the I think it's on the quartermaster corner, and it's in my signature. Don't send me a PM, because my PM inbox is flooded at all times. My emails are flooded at all times. It's so much easier if you just send it to the Q&A form. My customer service team is amazing, and they are on top of it, and they will make sure that you get an answer. I also have somebody keeping an eye on the Facebook page, so if somebody sends a message there, we've got that covered too. So please take advantage of my team. They're there to help so that I can focus on getting other stuff done. I think that's it.
Thank you, Corey. Hey,
Yep.
Sean, we had a question come in from our viewers. Would you mind answering this question?
Sure, no problem. So that is going to be in addition to third-party photo hosting. For those that, like I said, the gallery system is going to require some level of donation, just because we're going to need to be able to support the added bandwidth and the extra data being stored on the server. But for those that will have access to it, they can certainly use it for every photo. I don't see that being an issue. Obviously, we're going to have some basic criteria on not going in excess and really taxing the server from a user. But yeah, those that have access to it, there really shouldn't. We're going to do our best to make sure that it's not limited, and it's meant to be an improvement for those. But certainly, people are still welcome to use third-party photo hosting if they'd prefer.
So not mandatory, but you could definitely use it if you wanted to.
Yep. Cool
beans. Regina Dexa is our conclave minister. She presents all of she's our liaison between the council and the regional commanders. Regional commanders are the liaisons between the council and the members. So it kind of all gets funneled up and back down. Unfortunately, Regina was here for a little bit and had to go actually take care of an issue with a regional commander. So she's out working right now, doing whatever it is she does. And I'm sure she'll get back to us as soon as she can. And if she can't, then we'll post her thoughts and notes in the GA thread. That'll be on the forums shortly after. The number one question I get about the archivist job is, what is it that I do? That's a great question. And it's not that complicated. I work as the chief financial officer for the club with Tom and Rob as the CEO and COO, making sure that the money side of the house is all in order and ready for taxes and legal forms and all that fun stuff. I do a couple of other things to help with the committees around the club, and just try to make sure that everybody's on the up and up getting their work done. Our 2017 budget was completely met. We had a little bit of overages, so we actually increased some of the council offices' budgets by a little bit. So that's why we're expecting more from PR. Brigades as an opportunity to do some more merchandise. I think we even gave some to the personnel office and Tony with all that stuff. So we're expecting a whole bunch more stuff. Doing good stuff. 2018 is right now. We're doing okay as far as our budget and raising money and all that. It's really important that we at least document all of the money that the clans are raising at the local level. So as it is need, if it's over a certain amount, it's supposed to be reported to the IRS. So, in any case, it's something that we need to track, which is why we've been working on PayPal accounts for all of the regions and clans. About a dozen regions and clans right now have the new PayPal accounts. It's an upgrade from the personal business account or the personal accounts. We're using the business accounts now. This means that it doesn't have anybody's personal information tied to it, so the Alarad or Verilord doesn't have to worry about their information being turned over to a new user when the next year rolls around and they have someone else take over. Instead, it's all tied to the clan and club, which gives us also the opportunity to make sure that the money is being spent and raised properly. We've also instituted a club-wide money tracking system on the forums. Every clan is required to have a thread detailing their expenditures and donations brought in. So if your clan doesn't yet, which I think everybody's all caught up now, please get on top of that, Alarads and Verilors. All it needs to say is we have this much money, we want to spend it here, and then we spent it on that. Not huge. And the rest of the PayPal accounts should be heading out in about a week or a week and a half. I think we've got all the bugs fixed with it, so everybody should be getting those. And they're all tied to the clan email address that is provided from the Mercs. super cool and easy. If you don't somehow already have access, that's a tech team issue, which they will be super happy to take care of and help you with. MercsCon. I know Rich is really excited about this. We only have about 24 rooms left. That doesn't mean you can't pack those rooms full of people, but there are only so many rooms available at the hotel. So I think we're at like 24, 25 rooms remaining. So if we can get those booked, that's great. If not, that's more space and fun for the rest of us. Corey's working to get more merchandise to raise some more money and bring in more swag. It's going to be super fun and exciting. There's been a lot of questions about day tickets, and that is at the front of our minds right now. We're trying to work out how we could incorporate a day ticket into it. So as soon as we can figure that out, basically the hotel, we're renting out the entire hotel for the weekend. So we'd have to figure out who would actually stand at the door and allow people in for day tickets. And then do we have a badge or a bracelet or something that allows them in for that time? As soon as we can figure out how to actually run a day ticket option, we'll put that out there with prices and options available for that.
The important thing to realize about day tickets as well is that you will not get the same deal that you will have with the hotel rooms. It's very important for me to pop that out to people. Sorry for jumping in, Ken. Is that what will happen is with the day tickets is that you will not have access to the hotel's facilities, and you will not have access after a certain amount of time. You will only have access to the main hall and some of the events that go on that may go on outside the hotel. But at the same point, as I said, we've got 12 rooms left. If you want to be a part of the bigger celebration, go for a hotel room. But I would say that hotel would be the best option for you, because the day tickets, no matter how much we sell them to allow people who do only want to come for one day, or who do want to get a cheaper hotel room that they want to do and then join in with the fun a bit later, you will be losing out on a lot of the time for being part of the day ticket. So if you are umming and ahhing about it, be one of the 12 rooms because you will have a lot more fun.
I think we're at 24 remaining, 23 to 25. Yeah,
that's
sorry.
Fine. That's 23, 25. It doesn't matter. If you want to be a part of the whole experience, then get yourself a hotel room, because I just wanted to make sure that when we do sell day tickets, they will be limited in the things that you can do. You'll have a different color wristband and you will be asked to leave at a certain point, whereas the hotel guests will be able to stay on and have further fun with each other past a certain point of time. I believe it's 10 o'clock. Is it 10 o'clock, the curfew?
That's the part that we haven't worked out with the hotel. We're trying to extend it to 10, but right now they're saying 5 o'clock is the end of the business day, and that's when guests would have, anybody who's not a guest of the hotel would have to be out.
Right. So okay. So
we're working it. We'll right. Figure it out and post updates.
That is obviously one of the reasons why we're trying to get day tickets sorted. We need to make sure that we know what the actual rules are. But 5 o'clock, yeah, we're trying to hopefully get by 10 o'clock by the curfew time. But if not, it's 5 o'clock. You're gonna have to get out. So those are the risks that you take. So if you want the full package, go for the hotel room. Don't wait out for the day tickets thinking that it's going to be cheaper, because you'll end up losing out on a lot of the extra stuff that happens throughout the thing. And that's all I just wanted to jump in on. So thanks, Ken.
Yeah, thanks, Rich. Along with that, in big events, last year's celebration out here in Orlando was super fun, super huge, lots of excitement. Next year is another celebration. We still got another week or so before any official information comes down from Disney LFL. But when we started planning for celebration here in Orlando last year, it had started before we'd even left Celebration Anaheim in 2015. So I feel like we're behind the curve on our planning, but we've actually caught up fairly well. We just need to get with Disney and have them give us the information on when and where, so we can get our plans in motion. We've got a great idea that we're going to run with. It's super huge. If anybody was able to make it out for Celebration Orlando, magnify what excitement and amazing set we had by 10, and you'll be almost to the place where we're planning for Celebration next. So again, we can't really give you too much more than that because that's all we have so far. But just be aware we are planning for both MercsCon and Celebration right after. It's going to be a grand time. That was all that I really had to cover. If anybody has any questions or missed something that they need further details on, there's a thread up in the forums to explain more of what's happening. Council, do any of you have last minute add-ons that you forgot about? Sounds good. Well, in that case, thanks everybody. Check out the forums. We'll have the links and the details and notes up there for anybody who needs it. Have a good one.